Hello, blessed morning from my end. It is 22nd April 2026. Today being Wednesday. In this video, I'll be talking about the performance of different fiat currencies of nations in the past 1 year to date. Okay, let's say counting from 1st of January 2025 up until date. Yeah, so this particular chart I am on currently is a chart of Australian dollar against United States dollar. Australian dollar happened to be the base currency in this particular pair, while the US dollar happened to be the counter currency in this pair. So the base currency has been performing well against the counter currency. So the base currency being Australian dollar in the past 1 year. Let me bring out my crosshair. Now this is the past 1 year. This is it. You see, 25th and 2025, 1st of January. Now, all these blue candles that you are seeing, all these blue candles, from this blue candle formation, okay, you will see how that the price of Australian dollar or the value of Australian dollar against the United States dollar has been appreciating ever since, even from price level 0.59118 up onto 0.71658, as you can see. Now, that is from January 1st, 2025. Now, it tells you that there is a whole lot playing out within Australia, because AUD, which is Australian dollar, is the currency of is Australian currency. Okay, now this is a 1 year time frame. Like I said earlier, I'll be opening different charts of other currencies aside this, just to have us see where the money is flowing to, or where investors have paid attention to in the past 1 year, and what has been happening in several economies. Okay, so this video is very important, and if you've not subscribed to this channel, please go hit the subscription icon and also turn on the notification bell so you could receive subsequent updates on my channel. Okay, now let's continue. In the past 1 year, Australian dollar has done wonderfully well against the United States dollar, and that is what I just reviewed using this analysis. Now let me zoom this so that you could see the candles. You could see price started moving from this point in the past 1 year. You could see price went as low as 0.59086. Yes, as low as that, but it has appreciated up to 0.71651 thereabout in the past 1 year. So in the past 1 year, the Australian dollar on a monthly time frame outperformed the United States dollar. That tells you there's a whole lot that has been playing out in the Australian economy. Okay, now let's move to another currency pair, which is I want to just focus on Australian dollar first. Yes, so that we'll see how far it has performed on every pair I analyze. Okay, in every pair analyze rather. So the next place we'll find, okay, this Australian dollar against Canadian dollars. Now you could see, let me look at the time frame. This is from, okay, from 1st of April 2025, the Australian dollar has been appreciating against the Canadian dollars from 1st of April rather, sorry about that, from 1st of April 2025, the Australian dollar has been appreciating against the Canadian dollar on the monthly time frame. That's this more than one, is over a year, yes, more than one year period, okay? So let me zoom this so that you could see. In this pair, the Australian dollar happened to also be the base currency, while the Canadian dollar happened to be the counter currency. Like I said earlier, the base currency in a pair is the first currency, while the second currency in a pair is the counter currency. So these blue candles indicates the performance of the base currency, which is Australian dollar, and that tells you it has been appreciating for the past 1 year, or it even went as low. It went as low as it moved from 0.8437 up onto 0.97786 thereabout. That is how it has performed against another currency we are looking at, which is Australian dollar against the Canadian dollar. In another pair, this is another pair. The first pair we looked at is Australian dollar against the United States dollar, while this pair is Australian dollar against the Canadian dollar. Okay, now let's go look for another pair where Australian dollar is involved. I just want to show you where we investors should be focusing our attention on, the economies we should be looking for to put our monies, what has been going on in these economies, okay, and where not to put your money. So this is the reason I'm doing this video. It will help us to know the direction of the flow of money, where liquidity is moving towards, okay, and where liquidity is not heading towards, or where you shouldn't be looking for to keep your money. All right, now I want to stay on Australian dollar before I enter another currency. So I am looking at the best performing for now, best performing currency. So I'm focusing on Australian dollar. I want to go through other pairs where Australian dollar is involved to see how it is performing. So this is another pair, which is Australian dollar against Canadian dollar. The first we analyzed was Australian dollar against United States dollar, and you could see it outperformed the US dollar on a 1 year time frame. Now it also outperformed the Canadian dollar in another pair on a 1 year time frame. Okay, let's move forward to another chart. This is Australian dollar against Swiss franc, which is CHF. Now you could see Australian dollar against CHF. Australian dollar is still the base currency in this pair, while CHF, Swiss franc, is the counter currency in this pair. Now on a 1 year time frame, Australian dollar has also on a 1 year time frame, Australian dollar outperformed Swiss franc from 1st of April 2025 up onto date, and it moved from price level 0.49989 up onto this 0.5906. Okay, now let's move on. You could see how that Australian dollar has been outperforming many currency pairs for the past 1 year. That tells you there's something about the Australian economy in the last 1 year. You need to pay attention to it as an investor. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the next currency pair. Okay, the next currency pair here is Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. Australian dollar still is the base currency here, and the Japanese yen is the counter. So on a 1 year time frame, this is okay, from a 1 year time frame, from 1st of April 2025 up unto date, the Australian dollar is also outperforming the Japanese yen Okay, now it moved from price level as at 1st of April 2025. Australian dollar rose from 85.853 up onto 114.143. You could see how Australian dollar has been consistently outperforming other currency pairs or other currencies. Are you seeing how that there is something playing out in Australia? It is an economy you will want to pay attention to as an investor. I'm using a 1 year time frame just to help us understand where money has been flowing prior the war, during the war, and most likely after the war. Let's just hope things continue like this. But I'm just looking at it from a technical standpoint, and this can also help you build, help you do your research fundamentally to know what exactly has been impacting on this we are seeing on chart. It tells you there are fundamentals behind the scene that has made this to happen, or that has made the Australian dollar to have this great performance against other currency pair in the last 1 year. Okay, so let's move on to another currency pair where Australian dollar is involved. Yeah. We are moving on to Australian dollar against the New Zealand dollar, AUD NZD. So you could see it is also outperforming the New Zealand dollar on a 1 year time frame. So let's see 1 year time frame on a 1 year time frame. You see consistently from this point, 1st of April 2025 up until now, Australian dollar moved from this level. It moved from 1.06614 up until it is currently at 1.21140. Yeah, as you can see, this is an appreciation. This tells you the Australian dollar is outperforming other currencies literally in the last 1 year, or counting from 2025 up until now. It has been outperforming other currencies. Okay, so if I want to classify best performing currencies in the last 1 year, Australian dollar should be one of them, and that should begin to tell you something is playing out fundamentally in Australia, and investors who are sophisticated would want to carry out a move in a bid to find out what exactly they should be putting their money in. Okay, so let's look for another currency pair to see if we could find Australian dollar there. Okay, that's all for now. Okay, I can see Australian dollar again. Okay, euro. In this case, euro against Australian dollar. Why in this case, Australian dollar is not the base currency but a counter currency. Why euro is the base currency? That means euro is the first in the pair, Australian dollar is the second in the pair. Okay, let's see what the chart look like. Okay, euro against Australian dollar. Okay, you see the euro, which is the base currency, has been depreciating. So this red candle is falling. It tells you the euro has been depreciating in the last, let me see how long. Okay, it has been depreciating from these points. It has been depreciating from 1st of April 2025. It has been falling or depreciating from that height up until where it is currently. So the euro fell from this particular height I just touched, which is 1.85394, and is currently it fell to this blue candle line you are seeing, 1.63970. The euro depreciated or has been depreciating in the last 1 year. This is it, the last 1 year, 1st of April 2025, and this is currently 1st of April 2026, like based on time frame. You know, this is a monthly chart, so when we get to May, that's when the next candle will indicate we're in May. For now, we are still in April. That's why you are seeing 1st of April 2026, even though we have gone beyond 1st of April. But I'm saying I am analyzing this from a monthly time frame. The next candle, let me explain what I'm saying. Now, this is a monthly chart. Because it's a monthly chart, each candle represents a month. Let me use that word. Each candle represents a month. So you could see when I placed it on this blue candle, it is what? I place it on this red candle. Let me place it on this particular candle. Now you could see this first candle shows us what? 1st of January 2026. This second candle shows us what? 1st of February 2026. This third candle, which is a blue candle, shows us what? 1st of March 2026. Why this one that is unfolding currently shows us 1st or indicates 1st of April 2026. Okay, that's what I mean by I am analyzing from a monthly time frame. Yeah, so each candle you see here, be it blue or red, each take 1 month to unfold and before another one starts coming up. Okay, it takes a 1 month time frame for candles to unfold on this monthly time frame, while on other time frames like weekly, it takes 1 week. Daily time frame, which is D1, weekly is W1 and daily is D1. On a D1 time frame, it takes 24 hours, which is daily, for each candle to unfold before another one comes up. On a 4 hours time frame, it takes 4 hours for each candle to unfold before another one comes up. On a 1 hour time frame, it takes 1 hour to complete before another one comes up. On a 30 minutes time frame, so that's what time frames, each candles you see on each time frame, it takes that particular time for each candle to fully unfold and stop, then before another price candle comes up. Okay, that is what it means. Now let's proceed further. So you could see how that the euro, being the base currency in this pair, depreciated or has been depreciating in the last 1 year against same Australian dollar. All right, let's move on. Remember, please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, do well to hit the subscription icon, turn on the notification bell beside, so you could be receiving subsequent updates on my channel. Okay, thank you. Now let's proceed further. Let's search for other currency pair where we could find the Australian dollar, if there is any. Okay, for now I think that's all, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, that's not all. I can see pound sterling against Australian dollar. Let's see. Same thing, the pound sterling has been depreciating against the Australian dollar. Let's see how long. You see, from same 1st of April 2025 up until now, the pound sterling also has been depreciating against the Australian dollar. The pound sterling dropped from 2.16399 down to where it is currently. It actually went below 1.88748 thereabout, but currently that's where it is. It's actually dropped below 1.88763. It's dropped down to just thereabout. So this is pound sterling against Australian dollar. The pound sterling happened to be the base currency here as well, while the Australian dollar happened to be the counter currency, but the Australian dollar has been performing well. Okay, it has also outperformed the pound sterling, the Great British Pound or Great Britain Pound, which is pound sterling, for the past 1 year as well. Australian dollar, that's very important. Okay, let's continue. Let's search for other currency pair, if we could find Australian dollar there. Okay, that's all for Australian, that's all for now. So we've been able to note the performance of Australian dollar on other currency pairs. Now, if I would classify the best performing currency pairs and economies, I want to focus on, I'll most likely say Australian dollar, Australia, okay? So I've taken note of this going by this analysis. Now, let's look at the other currency pairs, okay? Let's look at the United States dollar, how it has performed against other currency pairs in the last 1 year, okay? Let's begin with I don't want this video to be too lengthy. This is over 20 minutes plus, okay? I don't want the video to be too lengthy, but let's see what we can do. But I would like us to also look at the United States dollar, how it has performed in the last 1 year, okay? The United States dollar against most currency pair has not performed well. That's the gospel truth. Yes, no sugarcoating, okay? It has not performed well in the last 1 year. So let's see. You will see back to AUD, USD. You can see how it has performed in the last 1 year. The Australian dollar happened to be the one outperforming the United States dollar in this case. Let's go to another currency pair where there's United States dollar. This is Euro, USD. The Euro is outperforming the United States dollar here. That means the Euro being the base currency in this pair, while the USD happen to be the counter currency in this pair, and on a 1 year time frame, which is from this point, I'm placing my crosshair from first. Let me see if this is 20. Okay, this is 2022. So from this point, from 1st of January 2025 up until now, the euro has been outperforming the United States dollar on the monthly time frame, even on a 1 year period. Okay, are you seeing that? This is it. You can see the bullish candles, the blue candles indicate the base currencies in this pair. The base currency in this pair, which is the euro, and it has been appreciating. It's moved, the euro moved from this point, this bottom I just touched, okay? From this point, it moved from 1.01581 and see where it is currently, 1.17513, thereabouts. It even went beyond, before retracing a bit, it even came up to this point, 1.20882. So it tells you the United States dollar has not been doing so well in the past 1 year. Let's move on to another currency pair where the US dollar is involved. This is the Great Britain pound against the US dollar. The Great Britain pound is the base currency in this pair, and it has also outperformed the United States dollar in the last 1 year. See the time frame? Last 1 year, okay, well, last 1 year is from this point, okay? It has outperformed it, yes, from 1st of February 2025 up until now. Not with great margin though, but it still it is not, it's something notable, yes. It moved from this point, yeah. The margin is actually great though, 1.20883 up until where it is 1.35285. Depending on what lot size you are trading with, this is mind-blowing. Say price move from this point to where it is currently. It is mind-blowing, yeah. So the US dollar has not been doing well against the pound sterling even in the last 1 year, all right? So this is last 1 year, that is 1st of January 2025, where price moved from, yeah, the pound sterling rose from 1.20974 up until 1.35307 currently, okay? Let's move on to other currency pair where we can find the United States dollar. Okay, New Zealand dollar against the USD. New Zealand dollar against the USD. Let's see what's here in the last 1 year. Okay, well, it has been a battle though between the both currencies, but it is still bullish from a 1 year perspective for the New Zealand dollar, which happened to be the base currency in this pair, while the United States dollar happened to be the counter currency in this pair. So the New Zealand dollar rose from this level from 0.54740 to 0.59158, where it is currently. And you could see it tells you there's been a higher low. Yes, it has made a higher low. So going by this analysis, it tells you the United States dollar has not been performing well as well against the New Zealand dollar in the last 1 year. Yeah, precisely from 1st of January 2025 up until now, which is where we are currently, April 2026. Let's check for other currency pair where the United States dollar is involved. Okay, there's USD Canada, there's United States dollar against Canadian dollars. Okay, let's see. United States dollar happened to be the base currency in this pair, while the Canadian dollar happened to be the counter currency, and the US dollar has been depreciating from these points. See, this is from 1st of February 2025 up until now. The US dollar dropped from this height from 1.47751 down to 1.36499. And that tells you the US dollar also has not been performing well against Canadian dollar for the past 1 year. Let's move on to other currency pair. Like I said, I don't want this video to be too lengthy. Yes, I don't want it to be too lengthy. I want to be so quick with what I'm doing so I could round up this particular lesson. Okay, USD. So USD against Swiss franc. Wow, in the last 1 year, the US dollar has not been doing well. Yes, against the Swiss franc. Yes, US dollar has not been doing well against the Swiss franc. It's dropped from 0.91992, where it is, down to where it is currently, which is 0.78065 currently. That's this indicative of this blue candle line where it is currently. The blue candle line you are seeing indicates where price is currently, not the dark candle line. All right. Now, which other currency pair have the US dollar in it? Let's see. Okay, USD against Japanese yen, JPY, USD JPY. Let's see. Wow. Now, only this currency pair. This is one of the currency pair that the US dollar has been outperforming ever since. Yes, the US dollar has been outperforming this particular currency pair, the Japanese yen. It tells you there's something you have to know. Well, the Japanese economy, there's a whole lot behind the scene, and there's a whole lot you have to know about the Japanese economy and how they are one of the largest, if not the highest, holders of the US bond or the US debt instruments. Okay, so let's see. The US dollar is outperforming the Japanese yen, no doubt, looking at the time frame. Looking at this chart, this setting, the US dollar is outperforming it. So even from a very long time perspective, look at it. So Japanese yen, so take note, Japanese yen, the US dollar has outperformed the Japanese yen for a longer period of time, even beyond 1 year, and it's still outperforming it. So one currency you should take note of is the Japanese economy, that the US dollar is doing, is outperforming, or the US dollar the US dollar is outperforming the Japanese yen, let me say so. Let's move on to other currency pairs. We will find the US dollar. Okay. The US dollar. The US dollar. The US dollar. Okay, the US dollar against Chinese renminbi or Chinese yuan. I think those are their currencies. In the last 1 year, the US dollar has not done well against the Chinese renminbi. This is from 1st of January 2025 up until now. The US dollar dropped from this height there about 7.36365 down to this blue candle line you are seeing currently 6.82497. So the Chinese yen has outperformed the US dollar in the last 1 year, or the Chinese renminbi or yuan. These are their currencies, I think so. I know so rather. What other currency pair can we find? The US dollar. Okay, there are many others. There's one currency pair I want us to look at. Let's just look at US dollar against Mexican peso. Same thing here. The US dollar has been depreciating against Mexican peso. Price fell from this height. This video is becoming too lengthy. Price fell from this height to this place. You are seeing 17 points. Fell from 21 point whatever down to 17. So the US dollar depreciated or has been depreciating against the Mexican peso down to 17 points thereabouts. So which other currency pair do we have here? We have USD against Swedish krone, which is SEK. US dollar against Swedish krone. The US dollar too has been depreciating against the Swedish krone in the last 1 year. Let's check other currency pair where we can find the US dollar involved. Okay, the US dollar against Singapore dollar SGD. Same here, the US dollar has been depreciating against the Singapore dollar. Okay, let's check if there are other currency pair. The USD against Turkish lira. This is a walkover for US dollar. The US dollar has been, like when I mean massively appreciating against, this is a massive appreciation against the Turkish lira. So take note, the Turkish lira is one of the currencies aside Japanese yen that the US dollar has greatly, when I mean greatly outperformed. You could see how beautifully aligned the US dollar, the bullish candle has indicated the appreciation of the US dollar against the Turkish lira, even on other time frames. You could see, even on the weekly time frame. Can you imagine? See how the US dollar is just having a free sale, just appreciate as if the Turkish lira. This is amazing. Let's go to the daily chart. Can you imagine? This is the daily chart. Wow. The US dollar has literally, when I mean hands down, this is a walkover. Just as they say in football, this is a hands down or a walkover for the US dollar. The US dollar has been dealing hard on the Turkish lira for as long as you care to know. So this is even far beyond a 1 year time frame. Consistently so. This is one currency pair that has underperformed the United States dollar. That is, the Turkish lira has underperformed the US dollar, aside the Japanese yen. Okay. All right. Okay. I think this same currency, this same Turkish lira, has also underperformed the euro. Yes, EURTRY. It's just like a currency. Same, it's just almost similar, like almost similar to the chart of the US dollar against Turkish lira. But this particular chart is the euro against the Turkish lira, and the euro as well has outperformed Turkish lira beautifully. Yes, you can see beautifully as well. Even on a daily, you could see. So that is all for now. So in summary, you could see I've been able to help you see the currencies that have been doing well. Yes, which is Australian dollar, the Australian economy as well, and then how that the US dollar has not really done well against major currency pairs in the last 1 year, and how that it has also outperformed currencies like the Japanese yen, and the US dollar has outperformed the currencies like Japanese yen and Turkish lira, especially for a very long period of time to date. Okay, that will be all for now. Like I said earlier, kindly hit the subscription icon if you are watching and have not yet subscribed to this channel. Turn on the notification bell so you could easily see subsequent updates or videos I upload on my channel. Okay, thank you for watching and have a great day.